this gets recorded for all of you, and then I'll be posting it in different places for you. So please, if you ever have any questions about what I'm sharing in Vedic astrology, please contact support@consciouscalendars.com, and we can answer any of your questions that come up when you're watching this later. So everyone, I'm so excited to share with you. Today is the full moon, and in the Vedic system, we actually say that it's the full moon in Aries. But the big thing that I wanted to share with you is that the full moon is opposite 3 planets of light, and there's an extra little thing that comes in that gives us quadruple light, because the full moon is the absolute brightest light of the lunar month, and the planet of light, the moon, is opposite the 3 planets of light. This is why I call it quadruple light today. In particular, because November 3rd, right now as we speak, one of the things I wanted to share with you, and I might go ahead and just share my screen because I'm actually doing the webinar a little differently, is, here we go, and I will show you this. So in essence, one of the things that I wanted to show you is that here is the full moon, and can you see the moon in Ashwini? And here's what's going on. Literally in the last 24 hours, Venus has moved into, this is the constellation of Libra, and Mercury in the same 24 hours moved into Scorpio. Now normally Mercury's movement doesn't have a huge effect on us, but there's a reason it has affected us more. Our nervous systems might have gone through an adjustment, and in particular, the shift that we felt is like leaving everything behind related to Venus, leaving everything behind that makes us feel disconnected from our higher self, that makes us feel disconnected from our divine source, from each other, from goodness in life, from love. And so when Venus is over here where it just was for the past 3.5 weeks in Virgo, it is challenged. And 3 weeks every year, give or take, sometimes Mercury comes in and kind of supports it a little. We had a little bit of support during the last 3 weeks, but every year Venus comes into Virgo. And the world over, and many people who are empathic or aware, and a lot of my friends who are energy healers, but in particular in healthcare, or that Virgo is a major planet for you, or that Venus is a major planet for, that Virgo is a major constellation for you, or Venus is a major planet for you, feel those 3 weeks very strongly every year. And Venus is the planet of connection. And when it's in this place, it brings up around the world for all of us a little bit of a malaise, a little bit of a sense of disconnection. It happens every year. It's just that some years we get a little buoyancy with it. Last year we had buoyancy. This year we had simultaneous shifts of Jupiter moving from this same constellation in September into Libra. And at the same time, October 26th, Saturn changed constellation. So we had these 2 big changes. And then simultaneously at the end of this Venus fit, there has been that sense of perhaps je ne sais quoi. I can't put my finger on it. I can't figure out why I may feel disconnected, or I'm not sure I do, but something is there. And so sometimes it feels like that. It's you wonder if it's yours, you wonder if you're feeling it around you. This is very classic Venus in Virgo. And Venus literally in the last 24 hours for the next 3, give or take 3 weeks, have come into Libra. And so the hope that I'm sharing with you is not only Venus is a planet of light, and it is in the domain of light in Libra, in the Vedic system. And Jupiter is a planet of light, and it is in Libra, constellation of light. Mercury is a planet of light, especially when it's in domains of light. Now, Scorpio is can be a challenging constellation for Mercury. Oh, but the exciting thing is, look at this Mars. Mars in the domain of Mercury. Mercury's in the domain of Mars. You don't have to know what it means. Just understand that the harmony that occurs here, there's an exchange called a Parivatna Yoga in Vedic astrology. And what happens is, do you see this energy? This is what I wanted to show all of you, is that in essence, I'm going to stop the share really quick, because if the full moon is here, and this is what's great is, if you're into Western astrology, the relationship is the same that I'm going to show you. It's just the name of the constellation that will sound different. So the full moon is a planet of light, and it's at its fullness. opposite it right now is Venus and Jupiter right here. And then Mercury is exactly opposite it. And then Mars is here. Now, some people would say, oh, Mars kind of brings in a little intensity. Well, guess what? What happens is this energy right here is this, you could say it's a basket, but in particular creates what's called an Adi Yoga. And the Adi Yoga is a yoga of light, that everything that's done on Friday, even over the weekend, even over the next week, is now blessed with a certain level of light. And even the next 3 weeks, because Jupiter and Venus are together, creating harmony. What I was just explaining in the video that I don't think got recorded is that, in essence, what's happening is with the planets of light, learning with Mercury, learning a new language, learning music, traveling, trying to connect with family and loved ones, finding a new way to calm your nervous system. You can be in action to find ways to help your brain, to help your nervous system, to decrease inflammation, to detoxify. And there's a reason I'm mentioning that. It's because it's related to this moon. So Mercury and Mars and together in this exchange that they have causes the ability to be in action to detoxify, be in action to decrease inflammation, and be in action to be an advocate of light and compassion in the world. People are coming together in new ways because Jupiter and Venus together in the constellation of harmony, and people gathering around wanting to feel connected, but also wanting to be good in the world and bring good to the world. So this is why we're going to see more things over the next 3 weeks, either happen during this 3 weeks that bring what were disparate groups of people together, or people will be coming together to create new movements of harmony and peace like we've never seen before. So it could occur at this time, or there could just be the idea that blossoms at this time that will then ripple into the future, especially with this full moon on Friday. So Friday is Venus's day. It is a day of prosperity. This Friday, November 3rd, the moon is full. Now it's full at 10:22 p.m. Pacific time, 1:22 a.m. November 4th. It is full in the morning in London, and it's full in the evening in Australia. So over the next couple of hours, that full moon is setting the energy, and it's right in the middle, right? It's in the middle of an arc of light as well. So the full moon sets the tone. You feel it the week before the full moon and the week after the full moon. That's how we look at it in the Vedic system. So it's setting the energy for the next week and this weekend. And in particular, when we get the moon in not just Aries, but in Ashwini, this is one of the most auspicious places in the heavens connected with healing. And then that moon of light is opposite these 3 planets of light, and then in action, right? Are you getting it? And then groups of people. So you are able to make personal changes to actually create harmony within yourself. And you, if you so choose, over the next 3 weeks, can get together with people either by going to a music concert, by learning music yourself, you don't have to necessarily be a musician. You can enjoy music. You can even pick up a craft, even if you were just knitting or got together with people and didn't, if you're an introvert and you just got together and didn't talk, but you just knitted together. There's a level of bonding that occurs, and to get together in ways that are resonant for who you are very important to do over the next 3 weeks. There has been a sense of disconnection in the previous 3 weeks, and we've got the next 3 weeks to really engage with this. And every year Venus comes to Libra, but only once every 12 years do you get Jupiter and Venus together in Libra, in the Vedic system, in the constellation of Libra, bringing this kind of change. I think it's setting a tone for up to 12 years. So there's going to be some movements of people who are peacemakers, who might even get a Nobel Prize in about 12 years from something they do during this next month. So if you are an advocate, continue doing your good works. If you're an individual who loves music, just reach out and get together. If you are thinking of traveling to connect with your family, now's the time to book those tickets in this next month and or make those plans. And realize, music is kind of that universal language, is what I was mentioning. Math and music. people can get together and have a shared experience. We don't have to have the same language. We don't have to have the same culture. We don't even have to have the same viewpoint or values. But when we experience beauty and harmony, either in an art show or in music, or we're just gathering together and we're all having some kind of beautiful experience together, we don't need words for that. That ripples into our lives. We've had a shared experience. So that's what Jupiter and Venus can do, is people can get together. You know, if you're thinking about volunteering and helping a local food shelter, or getting together and handing out food or disseminating gifts and toys because we're going into the holiday season. This is a way that you can actually show up and be in action, people. That's what this Mars brings. I always look at the silver lining, and some Vedic astrologers might kind of talk about that Mars being in there. You know, sometimes Mars can bring what's called a negative energy or a taint to this beautiful yoga that's happening right now. But this Mars ends up being in its own sign when it exchanges with that Mercury. And it's about action, people. It's about action that is diving deep in the ocean of ourselves and the ocean that connects all of us. That's what Mars exchanged into Scorpio does. So let's use this energy for positivity and to be in action, to decrease inflammation in our lives. If you haven't been doing your yoga or your meditation, please dedicate yourself for the next 3 weeks. It will decrease inflammation. Okay? Meditation has been found to do that. Okay? Chronic illness actually undoes the expression of the inflammatory response in your genes. There's a very cool research article about that. If you want it, contact support at Conscious Calendars, and I'll make sure support has that information to send the article, or I'll try and post it under the YouTube and the Facebook. So I wanted to just share with you guys about the light that's happening today. And one little snippet is that even though the full moon is technically in Bharani, which is this little, it's kind of a rambunctious energy, but Ashwini is a moon of healing, which is where the moon was at sunrise on Friday. The moon is then full in Bharani, which does set a tone, but Bharani is one of the most strong pushback, detoxification, clear in a very intense kind of way, and pull in because you have cleared energy. So that full moon in that next place within Aries in the Vedic system is still opposite those planets of light and that Mars. And even though it's a little rambunctious, that energy really comes in on Saturday, November 4th, because it's about the sunrise of the moon on that day. Friday, the moon is with Ashwini. Saturday, it's still in Aries, but it's in Bharani, and it's opposite the constellations of light. And that energy is affecting us for the next week. And in particular, 3 weeks into November, Jupiter and Venus together, and Mercury and Mars exchanged. Oh my goodness, it's some beautiful energy, folks. So that's why I really wanted to share that with you. I've given you a few things to think about, but you can create harmony within yourself, harmony in your nervous system, cultivate peace in new ways in your life. Only choose one thing. Please choose one thing, especially just this weekend and over the next week. It may just be, hey, you're going to decrease coffee and only have green tea in the afternoon, or have mint tea with chamomile in the afternoon, or you'll make one change and shift to a healthy snack during the day, or you'll return to meditation, or you'll meditate longer, or you'll get your daily walk in, or you'll go for a walk with a friend, or get together with a group that runs. So whatever your way to decrease inflammation in your body, but also to be dedicated in action to creating harmony within yourself, please do that. And then pick at least one thing, if not more, over the next 3 weeks to reach out and connect around arts, creativity. There's going to be some mind-blowing movements that occur. I haven't even gone into Bitcoin and some of the other things. I share a lot of these kinds of bigger movement ideas, either in separate videos so we can have that complete thought, or I share it in the paid subscriber area over on Conscious Calendars. Everybody gets a free calendar when they sign up. You get 30 days. And today is a green day connected with this full moon. Tomorrow, not so much because of that Bharani. And then Monday is another green day. It's a very easy system. Red means lay low, usually one of those days a month, got to do with the lower lunar energy, which is November 17th this month. Yellow means be aware, and green means go. Green means go, connect, do, look for opportunities, enact with opportunities, reach out, ask for support. They're great days of commerce as well, but also great date nights and social connection times, PTA meetings, board meetings. Things just move along a little more smoothly. So I just wanted to make sure I shared some of these concepts with you. So anybody who signs up on consciouscalendars.com gets a free calendar for 30 days. Check it out, test it. And if you have any questions about what I talked about in the Vedic system, which is looking from the earth up to the heavens, which is the same as the map that astronomers use, it will sound like the constellations are different. It's 23 degrees different. And there's these other things like yogas, and it's actually connected with the entire system of yoga and connected with the system of Ayurveda and connected with the system of karma. So when you hear about chakras and karma, it's actually coming from this entire system of Vedic astrology. A person's chart actually shows the tendency of their consciousness, what they've cultivated for lifetimes, and what tendencies for choice they will have in given situations. If you are cultivating certain things, you can change these tendencies. You can change and choose differently in the moment. So it is a wonderful world in Vedic astrology. I just wanted to share with you guys that connection between yoga, Vedic astrology, Ayurveda, and karma and chakras. That's the system it all comes from, okay? It's all harmonious. So looking to have you have a glorious weekend, a lovely full moon, a lovely week, and 3 weeks with Jupiter and Venus. I can't wait to look back 12 years from now and see what kind of little movements occurred during this time in this month that have reverberated and created positive ripples into the world. And you can be a part of that. Just choose to.